You might know this scene as the one where Vi says cupcake and Kate folds and betrays Ambessa without thinking for a second. But there is more, and nobody is talking about it, so I will. Many people complain that Kate changes her alliance too quickly. But through my analysis, I will show that this change was not so sudden. Let's see what we can find when we look closely. It is indeed true. Kate let herself be persuaded and let Ambessa have her own way. But all along she kept doubting, hesitating, and resisting. Here we have several instances, and I will also add my commentary where necessary.
I have an audience with the Masons Guild first thing in the morning.
Let me guess. Complaints about the Noxians.
They doubled their fortification requests. Again. To keep
us safe.
I'd expected this development would encourage you.
Was it for my encouragement that your man Rictus was instigating violence?
You don't trust me.
The blade cuts both ways.
Arrests require cause.
What greater cause is there than returning peace to this city?
Why is peace always the justification for violence?
This will allow you to locate your beast.
Not precisely.
My family archives have shed light on many of this city's mysteries.
Commander.
General.
In this scene, Kate shows up at the meeting between Ambessa and Singed. My interpretation is that Kate was not informed about this meeting. Ambessa was hiding it from her. By the way they greet each other, I feel some light tension, some lack of trust and sincerity. In the previous scene between Ambessa and Singed, Ambessa proposes to him an alliance, and it sounds like she is proposing a personal alliance with him, not a general alliance of Piltover with him.
You will serve me. My enemies will be yours. Your weapons will be mine. In return, I will supply all your needs. You will be treated as an esteemed advisor, but I demand absolute loyalty.
She talks in the first person, so I will help you, your enemies will be mine. She's not talking as the spokesperson of Kate. So probably this also was a private meeting between Ambessa and Singed, and Kate found out about it by her own. And of course this is an additional reason not to trust Ambessa. Kate probably understood that she is scheming behind her back, or at least hiding something from her.
Your speed is improving, but eventually you need force.
Too much force exposes you to risk.
Kate objects to some of Ambessa's principles. She learns useful stuff, but she does not completely mindlessly surrender to Ambessa's logic.
No weapons.
I believe this herald may be a former pupil of mine. Let me speak with him.
When the Noxians arrive to Victor's commune, Kate is there, but Ambessa is deciding everything. Kate is shown to be very attentive to what happens, but she also seems very aware that she is losing control of Ambessa. All of these things suggest that Kate was never completely subdued by Ambessa, and that with time she becomes more and more diffident of her, until she realizes that she has to change something. But also she seems helpless. She doesn't know how to do it. We also know that Kate is very smart. She can reconstruct events by looking at small details, and she can find links with different clues. She is good at strategy and planning, but especially she's very good at observing the environment around her and understand how it works. I think that foreseeing the possible unfolding of critical events at Victor's commune, and because of the alarming, belligerent attitude of Ambessa, and her suspicious scheming with Singed, Kate probably has studied the situation in advance. So she probably looked into the commune with something like a binocular. And I think that she spotted Vi. This seems like a very vague theory, but there is one detail that grounds it. When Vi follows Singed to the Noxian camp, to this kind of canyon where they are, she is stopped by Kate, and it was not an accident. The first shot of Vi and Singed entering this canyon is from above, and from above, Kate enters the next shot. So that first shot is from Kate's perspective, observing them while they enter the camp. It suggests that she was observing them earlier too. Kate could have just stood there at the entrance, said hi to Singed, let him pass by her, and then stop Vi. Instead, she slides down and reaches Vi when Singed has already walked behind the corner, so he can't see her and Vi meeting. So she decided to hide from Singed. Also, Kate reaches Vi just in time to pull her back, 1 second before she also walks behind the corner where Noxian guards can spot her. The first thing Kate does is in fact grab her arm and pull her back to the area where they are not visible. I don't think that Kate was guarding the camp. As said, there are guards just behind the corner already. So her guard before the guards doesn't make sense. Also, why would the supreme dictator of Piltover be guarding a camp like a common soldier? I think that Kate was not there on duty, not on the job, as Vi says, but on her own. I think that she was surveilling the commune for her own gain to prepare to possible events, and then she spotted Vi approaching, so she waited for her to arrive so that she could catch her before she fell in the hands of Noxians. And then Kate proceeds to neutralize her in a way that aims not at harming her, but blocking her and giving her the time to recognize her before reacting too strongly. In fact, when Vi is on the ground, with Kate over her, Vi has still an angry expression on her face against the unknown aggressor, and only then she becomes surprised as she recognizes Kate. On the contrary, Kate doesn't look surprised. She already knew this was Vi. She only looks a bit moved to be again face to face with her. She doesn't even respond to Vi's teasing comment, "On the job, I see." Kate is already too focused on her own thoughts, and we have a clue of what she is thinking about, because she looks at Vi, then looks in the direction of the Noxian guards, and then she says, "You can't be here," revealing that for her, Vi and the Noxians meeting would be a problem. She is thinking about the best way to deal with this situation. Then she notices that Vi is different and expresses her curiosity about what happened to her by commenting her hair. When Vi says, "Don't sugarcoat it, Cupcake," the nickname is not the only thing that might have struck Kate. Vi is also admitting that she is looking so bad because she went through a tough period. She says, "Don't sugarcoat it," as if Kate comparing her to a noiselick was still a compliment compared to what she really went through. Kate is very empathic, and we know, because also of later events, that she is still in love with Vi. This sentence of Vi reveals that Vi is still attached to Kate, and this makes Kate again aware of her own feelings too. Also, this information tells Kate that Vi is still a possible ally for her. In this moment, she needs an ally. Ambessa is taking over the control, and Kate doesn't know how to stop her alone. Moreover, in this current situation, Kate came to Victor's commune with Ambessa and a big chunk of the Noxian army, guided by Ambessa, and Singed that she probably already understood is a personal ally of Ambessa. Here there are no Piltovian enforcers, so Kate is surrounded by supporters of Ambessa, and she has no power against her. At this moment, Kate starts to think. She goes to look at the Noxian guards. She stops Vi from approaching and being spotted. She reveals to Vi the goal of their mission. Vi answers that her goal is saving her dad. Kate understands that their goals are intertwined. She also empathizes because she knows how important for her dad was, and Kate directly understands the loss of a parent. And there is an additional meaning that pervades the entire scene. It's what Vi represents and awakens in Kate. In episode 1, Kate tells Jace that Vi is the only thing that can ease her grief for her mother and her rage against Jinx.
Ever since it happened, 3 faces keep spinning through my mind. I see Mother, when they found her. But then there's Jinx, laughing. And I see Vi.
As Mel says, Kate has kept all of her feelings hidden.
Caitlin was there. You might pay her a visit. She hides it admirably, but the poor girl's in so much pain.
But when she meets Vi after the funeral, she collapses in tears into her arms.
Hey.
Vi is the only person she feels safe to show her vulnerability. When the task force goes to the mission in Zone during episode 3, Vi acts all the time as Kate's conscience, reminding her of what is right, curbing down her obsessive rage.
Kate! She's a child!
Move! She's not getting away again!
Kate.
Move! Kate!
I had the shot. That was a kid. What have you missed?
It's her blood in your veins.
Then why are you the one acting like her?
Especially when she stops her from shooting an innocent child to kill Jinx. When Kate is with Vi, she cannot be ruthless. Vi connects her with her moral and her good part. This is why, at the end of episode 3, Kate understands that, as long as she is with Vi, she will not be able to avenge her mother. By cutting off Vi, she cuts off her caring, empathetic, rational, and compassionate side. Soon after that, she embraces Ambessa's alliance, which feeds her rageful obsession with vengeance. So, when Kate meets Vi again, her kind part is awakened again, and the presence of Vi is the chance to dump Ambessa and her enraged part. So, as you can see, there is more than the magical power of cute nicknames, and Kate's change is not as sudden as it seemed initially. Have I convinced you, or do you think my interpretation is wrong? Let me know your theories in the comments. Bye!